up, people? Rasati here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me on the Night Owl podcast. I'm really grateful for you all joining in from all over the world and actually sending me comments and feedback. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you who have been with me from the beginning, you guys rock. I can't imagine all the nonsense you've heard from me over the years, but I'm really, really grateful that you're still sticking around. So without further ado, I kind of want to get into something that I had a conversation with a friend of mine about recently. And they were talking about the fact that, you know what, I just don't feel like doing stuff sometimes. You know, I want to achieve all these things, but on a day-to-day basis, they don't always feel like doing it. And I get that, man. This is why they say, you know, motivation is necessary daily. You need to find something that motivates you, inspires you daily, because sometimes you just don't be feeling it. And I know I've done podcast episodes before when I'm talking about, you know what, you just need 5 minutes. Commit to 5 minutes of doing the thing that you want to do, that you know is going to get you to the next place, so that you can kind of like catch the vibe on the way, right? Sometimes it's just a matter of opening up your computer and sitting in front of it and starting the work, and you just commit 5 minutes, just put 5 minutes into it, and guess what? You're probably not likely to stop halfway through after 5 minutes, right? You're probably going to be like, nah, you know what? I can do this and I can do that, and you're going to continue doing the work. But sometimes it's more physical than that. Sometimes you're going through some pain. Sometimes it's emotional trauma. Sometimes it's something that just happened and you're not in the mood. And trust me, you know what? Last year was a lot like that. The beginning of the year was a lot like that. There were so many days and weeks that I went without even doing podcast episodes. And here I am, like, trying really hard to catch up and make sure that I am going to hit my goal regardless. Because yeah, I did slack off, and yeah, I did put things off. It would have been so much easier if I had just done one at a time. But I didn't do that because my mood took over. But that's where discipline really becomes a staple for you, right? But discipline is not easily achieved. Discipline, sometimes you need somebody like taskmaster over you, yelling at you, telling you, you got to do this, you got to do this. Have you done this yet? You know, nag. You need someone to nag you. As much as you hate people nagging, sometimes you need somebody to nag you. I know when I was going through dance practice, I needed someone to scold me, to tell me off, to yell at me. Not that it wasn't something that I was capable of achieving on my own without being yelled at, but sometimes I can't see what I'm doing. I need someone who has a fresh pair of eyes, who's objective, who knows what the goal is, and can tell where I'm falling short. Because if you leave it up to me, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm perfect. I don't have any shortcomings. You know what I mean? So I need somebody, a third person sometimes, to tell me what's what, whether I'm going wrong, whether I'm slacking off, whether I'm doing all I possibly can or not. And sometimes I need more than that. Sometimes I need a kick in the pants from the universe. Sometimes I need for a project deadline to loom up over my head, and I'd be like, oh my God, you know what? Yeah, okay. I need to buckle down. I need to sit down. I need to write this, because suddenly I have no more time. And that's part of what I'm going through at the moment with several other projects. There is a change in my Facebook group, and I don't know if I'm going to continue it or not, but I do know that what I'm doing right now isn't working. What I'm doing right now is not enough for me to continue. It's not enough for me to get the feedback that I need to be able to deliver the same amount of energy that I've always had. And I hate to say that, you know, yes, my energy kind of is dependent on the energy of the group and the people that are participating as well. But I'm human. This is part of who I am, and this is part of what I'm discovering about myself. So yeah, sometimes the discipline that I am craving, the discipline that I'm trying to establish for myself, is dependent on outside sources, is dependent on my mood, is dependent on my pain level, whether that's emotional or physical. And I need to overcome those things. So what do I do? Like, how do I manage those things, right? A lot of times, half the battle is noticing that I'm kind of hesitating to do something that I know that I could possibly do. Sometimes it's the fact that I'm focusing too much on the problems rather than on the solution. Sometimes it's the fact that I'm focusing on the problem at all that has nothing to do with the things that I want to get done, right? This may be something related to the kitchen that has nothing to do with my office. You know what I'm saying? It might be something as simple as there is another leak in the house somewhere, and I've been fixing leaks all this time, and now it's like, you know, something else that I need to work on, but I'm not entirely encouraged to take care of those things, and so I'm trying to avoid the work. So sometimes it's more than just needing discipline. It's more than just needing someone to help you out of a rut. It's more than just having someone notice that you're making ridiculous excuses for why you can't achieve something. So for that, you need to be able to recognize the fact that you're in a rut. You need to recognize the fact that you're putting off things that you probably don't need to put off, but you're making an excuse for why you need to. And once you can identify that moment, that that phase that you happen to be in, the next thing is, all right, well, what is it that I'm focusing on that I need to kind of stop focusing on so I can get my work done? You've been in situations where you're at the office and you know you have a pile of work sitting in front of you, and maybe you're just not in the mood. Maybe you're not feeling so good. Maybe you just hate the work that you're doing in the first place, but you've committed, you're here at work, and you need to get the work done. So what do? You got to notice the fact that you're delaying, that you're procrastinating, right? And once you notice those things, what do you got to do next? Usually I go for the lowest hanging fruit. What's the easiest thing I can accomplish so I can start checking things off the list? Because guess what? I love checking things off the list. And once I start doing that, I feel pretty good about myself. It's almost like I reinforce the fact that, hey, you know what? I'm a badass. I can get this stuff done. It's just a matter of starting the work. And it's truly amazing to see what kind of a cycle that is. As much as it is a cycle to be sitting around trying your best to get something done, not really feeling the mood of it, there is such a cycle as starting to get the work done, especially if you get it done early in the day and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I have this much day left and I still have all the stuff that I've already accomplished. What else can I get done? Sometimes when it's physically demanding of you, for you to be able to get something finished, like maybe it's dance practice, maybe it's choreographing something, maybe it's actually going out to shoot a documentary or a film or whatever the case may be, when it's physically demanding like that, when you get back home, yes, it is a toss up between whether you're energized enough to do more work or if you're like really tired and needing to step back and replenish, to refresh yourself. And even then, that's another practice that you need to put into place. Notice your energy. Notice when your energy actually picks up and when it kind of needs to be replenished, because then you understand more about yourself. Then you can actually plan out your day so that you don't lose time, you don't burn daylight, you have enough energy to sustain you throughout the day, and it becomes more of a managing your energy kind of situation rather than trying to find the energy all the time. Maybe to force the inspiration or to force the ability to get up and go do something when you're really not feeling all that excited about the project or energized to get the work done. So a lot of this comes down to self-awareness. Noticing when you're in a rut, noticing when your energy is low, noticing what makes you happy and what doesn't, noticing what makes you motivated and what doesn't. A lot of it is self-awareness. And for you to know that thing about yourself makes it that much easier and that much more productive for you in the grand scheme of things. Maybe you're not trying to go out and conquer the world. Maybe you're just trying to get through the day. Maybe it's something as simple as, you know what, I know I got to cook today and I don't really feel like it, but people got to eat, so I got to get in the kitchen. How do I do this? What do I need to have around me so that I'm inspired to cook? Maybe it's trying a new recipe. Maybe it's doing something that's comfort food because you know exactly how it's going to turn out. You don't have to put in a lot of effort, and it's simple, it's easy, it's predictable. But all of those things come with a level of self-awareness. You need to know those things about yourself in order to get those things done. So if you got any questions, you guys drop them in the comments. I want to hear from you. But in the meantime, start noticing. It's about time you know more about yourself than you do about everybody else. It's about time you know more about yourself than you do about the Queen's Gambit and about, I don't know, the upcoming movies in the Marvel universe or the DC universe. You need to know you, because at some point you're going to have to tell other people about you. You're going to have to teach somebody else to love you. And if you don't know you, wow, it's going to be a hell of a game of dice to figure out how to get along with people and how to make sure that the relationships work out. So I hope that helps you guys. I will catch you again soon. Bye.